My gut had been whispering for months, soft, uneasy murmurs I kept silencing. But the night before the wedding, it screamed. Holly and Kellen, my fiancé and my brother, shared too many private smiles, too much laughter that curved around me instead of including me. I told myself I was imagining it. I told myself I was tired. 12-hour days at the consultancy, endless calls with florists, caterers, and the Chambers, her wealthy, demanding parents. My parents had scraped their savings just to meet half the costs, and I owed them gratitude, not suspicion. I told myself Kellen was my brother. I lied, until the lie burned away. At the rehearsal dinner, Holly floated through the room like she was born for it, all charm and choreography, a white dress and an easy smile. Kellen gave me a thumbs up from across the hall, then disappeared. So did she. An hour later, scrolling through Instagram, I saw it, a short video Holly had posted and deleted. A hotel corridor, distinctive carpet, a sliver of door number. The timestamp matched the moment they'd vanished. Something inside me hardened. I drove there. I didn't plan revenge, I planned to see. If I was wrong, I'd walk away relieved. If I was right, I needed proof. Kellen's car was in the lot. The elevator hummed up to the 8th floor. I followed the numbers until I reached room 847. Behind the door, muffled laughter, familiar and intimate. My hands shook. Months earlier, Kellen had given me a master key card for wedding emergencies. The irony tasted bitter. The light blinked green. The handle clicked. Inside, truth waited in cruel simplicity. Holly, breathless and tangled in sheets. Kellen, over her, their laughter still warm. I didn't shout, I didn't break things. I recorded 10 seconds, the timestamp glowing in the corner, then slipped out as quietly as I'd entered. Downstairs, in a diner washed in fluorescent light, I drank cold coffee and built a plan. If they'd betrayed me in private, I'd make it public. If they'd chosen secrecy, I'd answer with spectacle. The venue's AV system would do the talking. I spent the night editing, my fingers mechanical and precise. By dawn, I had a video, grainy, undeniable. I prepared a surprise slideshow for the wedding. Tony, the technician, would play it at my signal, unaware of what it contained. That morning, I walked through the ballroom, chandeliers glowing like judgment, flowers in perfect bloom. My parents, proud and exhausted, smiled at me from the front row. The Chambers guests gathered like an audience of reputation and wealth. When it was time, I took the microphone. "Good afternoon," I said, voice steady. "There will be no ceremony today." The murmur turned into a collective gasp. Marjorie Chambers clutched her pearls. Then I nodded to Tony. The screen came alive, 10 seconds of betrayal, timestamp blazing like a verdict. The room froze, phones lifted, gasps and whispers sliced the air. Holly appeared at the entrance, face drained. Kellen stumbled in half-dressed, caught in a horror of his own making. I walked down the aisle, not to marry, but to deliver consequence. Kellen tried to speak. I slapped him. The sound cracked through the silence like judgment itself. Cameras flashed. Holly dropped to her knees beside him, crying. The Chambers erupted, fury, shame, disbelief. My parents stood in quiet shock, a grief deeper than pride. When it was done, I left. That night, I packed Holly's belongings into boxes, her dresses, her shoes, even the ring box, and left them neatly on her parents' doorstep under the porch light. One knock, no note. The aftermath came fast, Richard Chambers pounding on my door, demanding compensation for reputational harm. Kellen lost his job, rumors devoured him. Holly sent apologies, then anger, then silence. Some called me cruel, others justified. But I didn't feel victorious. Public exposure is a clean wound at first, sharp, righteous, intoxicating. Then it festers in quieter ways. I had destroyed their lies, yes, but I'd also dismantled a version of myself, the trusting, hopeful one. I moved to a smaller apartment, paid my parents back, and went back to long days of work. Dating felt strange, fragile. The gossip eventually faded. The Chambers retreated into their wealth and silence. People assumed the wedding disaster was an ending, but really, it was a beginning of a life that demanded fewer illusions. Sometimes, in the dark, I still see that corridor, the patterned carpet, the half-open door, the timestamp that proved everything. I keep the clip, not to relive it, but as a fossil, a record of what I survived. I learned that truth doesn't always heal. Sometimes it just reshapes you. Now I live quietly. Work, dinners, the slow rebuild of trust. I sleep lighter, more aware. My dignity isn't golden anymore. It's tempered, heavy, earned. The question that lingers isn't whether I was right, I was, but whether being right was worth the cost. The answer is complicated. The wound remains, and I tend to it one quiet, honest day at a time.